Well, hello everyone, welcome to another video. It is me, Desiree, and it is time again to talk about favorites. This month was really weird for me. I was in a funk most of the month. I think I only did like 3 videos this whole month, which is weird. I like to do videos all the time. I'm always having ideas. I want to film it right now. I love editing them. But for some reason this month, everything just felt like a chore. Like everything felt so hard. Everything felt so heavy. But I knew I had to get up every day. I knew I needed to tend to my plants. So I had more of an appreciation for them this month than normal, because if I don't care for them, they're going to die, you know? And I don't want my plants to suffer because I'm not feeling good. But I also appreciated them a lot this month because they make me feel good. You know, it makes me feel good to get this plant, take it to the water, see it like get rehydrated, put it back in its little spot, see it just kind of get plump up from the water I just gave it, seeing it turn to the sunlight and seeing the way the sun hits the plants through the window. It's a great feeling, and I was really thankful for plants this month because it gave me something to do, something that I had to do, because I feel like if I didn't have the plants, the month would have probably sucked a lot more than it did, you know? Not to get too heavy or anything. I like to keep this channel light with plants and, you know, just fun stuff, but it was a hard month. It was a hard month for me, and I'm hoping December is going to be better, and then I'm going to be back in business and back to doing videos multiple times a week, not just the one time a week, but I'm doing my best here, okay? I'm doing my best. But I wanted to talk about plant favorites because I loved every single plant this month. Like I said, they all gave me a real sense of like, I don't know, not to make it too serious, but they gave me like a sense of purpose to be like, I have to take care of this, or all my hard work is gonna be for nothing, you know? Does that make sense? Am I talking crazy? Anyway, let's lighten it up a little and just talk about the plants. So let's talk about this one right here. I love this. I freaking love this. I think a lot of you already know that. This is my senecio blue chalksticks, and I cut this plant up in a video for October as a plant massacre video because it was growing crazy. I put the propagations in little pots. They're doing well. They're sitting there. I'm going to do an update on them soon. But I really like the way this looks now. I should have shown this in my plants that have a mind of their own video that just grow all crazy, because this is definitely one of them. But this is one of my favorite plants ever that I've ever had. I love the way that it grows. It just looks like art. Like, it's so cool. I'm not going to talk too much about it because I talk about it all the time, but I really loved that plant this month. Okay, and speaking of my wacky plants video, in that video I mentioned my Instagram, and some of you guys went over there and followed me. Thank you. But I'm not that active on Instagram. I mean, who am I kidding? I'm on Instagram every single day just scrolling my life away. But I'm not that active myself. Like, I don't post a lot of pictures. I post a story every now and then. Like, I posted one yesterday. But I gotta get better at taking pictures of my plants and posting them and being more active on my page, especially if people are gonna follow me. But anyway, I had asked you guys if you had any crazy, wacky, wild growing plants to send them to me on Instagram in my DMs. And some of you guys did, and it was so fun to interact with you in a different way and to see your plants, and they were so cool. And one of you guys sent me a picture of your philodendron golden dragon, which is what this is here. And it looked so cool. It was growing up this long. I think it was a moss pole, but it just looked crazy. And I'm picturing that this is gonna get like that too, because it grows so wild. But the reason I really liked this one this month is because the big leaf fell off. So when I had originally bought this plant, it was one leaf. It was one big like top cutting of a golden dragon. And I honestly thought it was just gonna stay that one leaf forever, but it did end up popping out new vines with 4 new leaves. And that big leaf did die. I cut it off the other day, and I like the plant so much better. It's crazy what cutting off one leaf can do for your plant. Like, this literally looks like a new plant to me. I feel like I'm appreciating these smaller leaves a lot more, because every time I looked at this, I only really looked at the big leaf and I thought these were kind of like eh. But now that that leaf isn't there, these ones have their time to shine, and it's so pretty. I absolutely love this plant. And I love the pot that it's in. So this is just a regular old terracotta pot, but every time I water it, it absorbs the minerals and different things that are in your water and in the soil and stuff, and it creates this beautiful patina. Oh, I love this. Some of the patinas on my pots look horrible, or they have like big chunks of stuff growing that I gotta wipe off. And some of them come out like this, looking like just rustic and beautiful. I absolutely love this one. So the combination of the pot and the plant, love, love, love. So yeah, this is a plant that just kind of started catching my eye now more and more because it just looks so new and different and cool. And I love it. I love it so much. Let's go over here. And I wanted to do a video for Thanksgiving, like plants that I'm thankful for, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. It just felt like such a chore to sit in here, to turn on the camera, to edit the video. It was just a weird month, you know? Anyway, I said I wasn't gonna keep talking about it, but here I am. Okay, the next plant I love is my Monstera siltepicana. For some reason, I feel like I just talked about this. Did I, or was I talking to myself? I have no idea. But for some reason, I feel like I was just recently talking out loud about this plant to somebody. But I feel like it was probably me. Anyway, I have a new appreciation for this plant. I mean, it has a couple of leaves that are yellowing like these older ones here. That's fine, it'll fall off and the plant will continue on living. But I cut off 2 of the long vines that were hanging here because they looked so ugly. They were just like scraggly and like, they just looked ugly. So I cut them off and immediately I was like, wow, this plant looks so much better. It looked refreshed, it looked new, it looked happier. I felt like the plant told me thank you. Thank you for cutting those ugly vines off. I cut them off. I did throw them in some water, so I'm trying to root them so I can, you know, have another one. But I also moved this plant from the windowsill because it's getting colder at night, of course, and I have a lot of my plants in the windows. Like all the plants that are in this room on the window, I don't move them all year. I leave them there through the winter and everything. But I think they're okay in here because we also have the heater on for us. So, you know, the air's not just super cold in here all the time. But the windows in my other room are freezing cold because in there we don't have a heater. Like we have a heater in the corner that was there when we moved in. It worked for one winter and then it didn't work last winter and we haven't been able to figure it out since, and there's no other heating in that room. So we use a space heater for ourselves and for the plants and just to kind of keep the room a little more comfortable. But the windows get super, super cold, so I want to move all the plants from there. But anyway, this plant was living in the window. I rarely paid attention to it. I would only notice it needed water because it was wilted. I don't know why I do that. I put plants in spots that I know I'm going to forget about them, and I do it anyway. And that's what happened to this one. But once I moved it from the window, I put it in a spot that I see every single day, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is the prettiest plant I've ever seen. I mean, look at the leaf shape. The leaf shape is so pretty. It looks like a little heart from Mario 2. I don't know why, it just reminds me of that. That weird like kind of shape of that heart that's on the game. The veining is absolutely beautiful. It's just like a cool, fun, wild plant and I love it. This pot also is getting a little bit of a patina, but not as much as the golden dragon pot yet, but still super pretty. I love when the pots start doing this kind of cool stuff because every single one of them is going to look different, you know? I did bring another one in here, this one. I don't know why I gravitated toward this fern so much this month. I think this is a button fern. I'm not totally sure, but I'm pretty sure it's a button fern. It is one of my oldest surviving ferns. I have a fern in my living room that I got for Christmas last year that's still hanging on by a thread. It still has life to give, so I'm still keeping it. I did a whole video actually on my fern collection. I'll link it down below if you want to watch it. It's the saddest collection you'll ever see because all of them have problems. But this one I just love. It's very, very forgiving when it comes to watering. Oh my God, poke me in the eye. It's very forgiving when it comes to watering. Obviously, it's not going to thrive if it's underwatered. Ferns definitely like to be a little more on the moist side, but for some reason, I always forget about them. I always remember to water the alocasias. I always remember the peace lilies, but I always forget the ferns. I don't know why that is, but I just love the way that this one looks. It looks wild and crazy and cool. I love these long fronds. Are they called fronds? I love these long fronds. I love these tiny little leaves that are on each one. And I just really enjoy the look of this one. It does have a lot of fronds in here that have perished, but I don't pull them out or try not to touch them because I think they look so cool. The mixture of like the dried ones with the live ones, I think it just makes the plant look a little more dynamic. I don't know, does that make any sense? I don't know if you can really see the dried up ones in here. Like there's one here, there's one here. You can kind of see that one. I really like it. I like the mixture of the dried and the green. It's beautiful. It looks fake from far away, I don't know. But I really like this one. It's really nice. And I always try to appreciate my imperfect plants because they're all beautiful in their own way. And I like this one a lot. And I found myself just really appreciating it a lot more this month and putting up with all of my shortcomings when it comes to just being forgetting about this plant, not watering it on time. Obviously it's in a bookshelf, so all of the plant is kind of facing that way, but I think it's beautiful. And not all plants look good with their dead leaves hanging on. Like I have a fern in my other room that is, I want to say it's 70% dead, 30% alive, and the dead stuff looks awful on that plant, but for some reason on this, I think it looks really cool. I don't know. Just like it, okay? And then the last favorite I want to mention is this. I think this is so cool. So I filmed a video talking about all of my propagations and showed you how all of them were doing. Of course, I never edited it because it just felt like, I don't know, it just felt like it was gonna be the hardest thing in the world for some reason. And as I was doing that video, I went through all of my propagation jars and whatever I had going and was picking them all up and looking at roots and stuff. And this is one that really caught my eye. How can I do this without making a mess? So this is a, it's one leaf here. It's a begonia called maculata wightii. This is just my snake plant. It's doing well too, but it's not the favorite this month. This one is. So this is a begonia maculata wightii. In a video where I talked about this plant, I cut this one leaf off because it was the only leaf it had, and it's been sitting in this water forever. I almost want to go back and see when I cut it. I'm going to put a little screenshot here of when I cut that and the time, because this has been sitting in that water ever since then. It took a very long time to grow roots. These are the roots here. Yeah, you know, they look kind of funny. It has a tiny little leaf growing in the water, but it put out 2 beautiful leaves growing in the water. I mean, look at these leaves. They are so beautiful. And from this angle, maybe it's the way the light is hitting it, they look like they're shiny, maybe just because they're brand new. Look at this. It's so pretty. And it has taken a very long time to grow like this, so I am intending just to keep it in water, but because I'm terrified to put this in soil because I could not keep it alive in soil to save my life. But I absolutely love this. It's so pretty. I come in here every single day and look at those pretty leaves, trying not to drip water. And I've seen people have this plant that is so big and beautiful. I want to say the thrifted planter, I think I messaged her on Instagram because I think she put up a picture on her stories or something of one that she has that's like 5 feet tall and the leaves are just growing all crazy beautiful. And I emailed her or DM'd her and I was like, what the heck are you doing with that plant? I don't remember what she said now, but it didn't seem like it was anything special. Well, I can't keep it alive to save my life. But that is it. Those are my plant favorites for November. Let me know what some of your plant favorites are. Let me know how the month was for you. If you were having a hard month like I was, it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. We're gonna get through it. We have plants, we have things to take care of, and things are looking up, okay? Things are looking up. But my Instagram, I will leave it here on the screen if you ever want to reach out for any reason or send me pictures of your cool plants. I would love to see them. But that is it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss my next one. And I will see you later in another video. Goodbye.